you say about Flashpoint? And can you say it?
The obvious. Nora and Henry are both alive, and yeah, Barry's got both of his parents, which we're seeing him enjoy and thoroughly appreciate because he is aware of the other timeline. Barry remembers the other timeline. He's the only one that does. So he's, has a lot of gratitude for the fact that both of his parents are alive and well right now. And he's kind of like, I think deep down knows it was a pretty selfish decision and that will start to weigh on him pretty heavily. Barry pretty much never has a clear conscience, I think. He's kind of always beating himself up. So if he does some dumb feel bad. And we're going to see that scene in Flashpoint.
After Barry emerged from the Speed Force, it seemed like he had come to terms with his mom's death, do a burial ground.
Yeah.
He was feeling good.
Yeah.
But then, yet in the end, he still went back to change the past and the future.
Yeah,
so
I think...
At what point?
I think, honestly, it was like in that conversation with Iris. I think Barry's sitting there with Iris. They've defeated Zoom. Everything is as it should be. And Iris says what Barry's literally always wanted to hear. And he feels empty inside. And it's, he realizes right then, like, I have to do this. And I think when we get to Flashpoint, he's been in that timeline for a while. So, and he's been loving it. But we're gonna see him kind of like start to feel some of that remorse because his memories are gonna start to change. He's gonna start to have memories of his parents that he's never had before, that he's missed out on from like all the years they missed, but they're replacing other memories, and Barry's going to start to realize that's happening, and he's going to start to feel pretty guilty about his decision.
Is he also noticing the ramifications that his changes would have on the people around him and how their relationships?
Yeah, he's kind of tried to just be naive to the whole thing. So we've seen Kid Flash, the pictures have emerged. We shot those scenes with Kid Flash, and so Kid Flash is running around as the Flash in this timeline, and Barry's taking a back seat by choice and letting him do his thing. And that's been his motto for most of Flashpoint. It's kind of like, I did this so I could have my family. I don't have to be the Flash, so I'm going to sit back and appreciate this life now. And he kind of he's forced to step into action a little bit. When we're seeing Flashpoint, and in doing so, he kind of starts to see what everyone else's life has become for the first time. And again, that's when it kind of reality is like kind of setting in for real. The message
Sorry, what was it like shooting that last scene with the Flashpoint logistically, just after having shot it a couple of times and having to, emote a different sense of emotions and
Speaking of when Barry saved her, honestly, I hate shooting those scenes now. I mean, not like, oh, I hate it, but it's hard. It's really hard. And, but it was nice to at least do a version where we did get to play the other side of it, where Barry does save her. But it's still hard because I've watched Michelle, this Nora, she's amazing, first of all. And she lives in Vancouver. I think if she was living in LA or New York, you'd see her in everything, but she's has a son and puts that first, and she's the sweetest person in the world. And she's an amazing actress, and she goes there easily every time we shoot that scene. So even though Barry's saving her and trying to tell her it's okay, she was still terrified, and who are you? So it was still hard, really hard to shoot that stuff. Yeah.
Does it make it easier for you to go there emotionally when she's so
It's not easier. It happens easier. I mean, that's not a hard thing to tap into though. For me, I sometimes well up just talking about that storyline. When we shot what was the Kevin Smith's episode, the Good Little Dinosaur, what was it called? Dinosaur? I forget. But that children's book, that is the hardest stuff in the world to shoot, because I don't know why, but it's connected to something very real in me whenever I don't know why. Both my parents are alive and well, but it messes with me. It's really, real deep level.
Does Barry start to feel like he wants to correct the timeline at some point, or is he still in that happiness over the first few episodes?
Flashpoint doesn't last the entire season. The ramifications carry throughout the entire season. But, Barry starts to kind of realize that this wasn't for the best. It was selfish, and he tries to kind of find a way to put things back, which might be impossible though at this point.
We're heading to that thing that sits at the heart of all superheroes, which is the question of how much can they give, how much can they change or say.
Yeah, I think when we're seeing him at the beginning of this, he was on empty last time we saw him, which is why he made this decision, and it's why when he gets to Flashpoint and there's another Flash, he's like, wait, like I'm done then. That's like, I'm just gonna do this. He still has his powers, but he's like, I ain't gonna use them. I'm just gonna like take the day off, take the year off.
One interesting thing that I've seen carried from season 1 to season 2 is just something really, really small that we got thrown in there. Are we finally going to see Barry get that suit into the ring?
I hope so. I was just thinking about it the other day, actually, because what is your take on this? I was thinking that if we had it, like, if it was just kind of simple, do you think it needs the lightning bolt on it if we were to do the ring, or does it just need to be a ring?
No, lightning.
It has
You have to have a lightning bolt.
Okay,
That's a symbol.
Okay. All right, cool. I just want to because I don't know. I think we will do it eventually. I don't know when.
You guys keep doing that.
I know we do.
The first season, then Cisco
early
asked.
on, like they were gonna say like we were gonna see Cisco working on it a lot. And I would like ask what it was, and he would kind of like just brush me off. We haven't really played with it too much yet, but hopefully we will more. I would imagine before the series is over, though, we'll have the ring.
And what about the crossover event happening in the fall with the 4 shows? Can you tease anything about that? What do you know about it so far?
I know something big about it, actually, that I'm not allowed to talk about.
Not allowed to talk about it.
Yeah, but exactly. But it's happening, and it is a 4-show crossover. Yeah, I'm saying you have to say 4-show crossovers because someone said 4-way crossover earlier today. That sounds terrible, right? Yes, but it's happening in all 4 shows of crossover.
Happy to work with Melissa again?
Yeah, it'll be fun. Yeah, and that whole cast is great.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're fun.
Awesome. Thank you very much.
Yeah.